We all wish for a positive future for ourselves, our family, our children, and our community. How about a mindful future that benefits us and the planet? Hi, I'm Emanuelli, Creative Director and founder of MindfulFrontiers, an education-based meditation center. Vipassana meditation instruction is my life path, and I believe it's important for families to practice mindfulness together. In this podcast, Welcoming a Mindful Future, I will be sharing easy and accessible mindfulness practices that you can do in your family, no matter the age of your children. Join me and learn how to bring mindfulness meditation into your daily routine. Thanks for being here, and listen up for the next episode. Hello, and welcome to the podcast Welcoming a Mindful Future from Mindful Frontiers. I'm Anne-Marie Emanuelli, founder and creator of Mindful Frontiers, and also meditation instructor and mindfulness teacher. In this podcast episode, I would like to share with you how we can bring mindfulness into our daily life. Anything we do can be meditation. In the words of Thich Nhat Hanh, we have the ability to work wonders. If we live mindfully in everyday life, walk mindfully, are full of love and caring, then we create a miracle and transform the world into a wonderful place. Mindfulness can be brought into our daily activities so that anything we do becomes meditation. Doing the dishes, cleaning the house, driving the car, drinking coffee or tea, and walking with a pet can all be done mindfully. And this month being April, how about coloring Easter eggs or reading the Haggadah mindfully this month? Thich Nhat Hanh, a Vietnamese Buddhist monk, teacher, and peace activist, wrote extensively about mindfulness in daily life. I quote, "Mindfulness is the energy of being aware and awake to the present moment. It is the continuous practice of touching life deeply in every moment of daily life. To be mindful is to be truly alive, present, and at one with those around you and with what you are doing. We bring our body and mind into harmony while we wash the dishes, drive the car, or take our morning shower." Tai, as he is referred to by his followers, taught that anything we do can be meditation. When we engage in an activity mindfully, we slow down and really pay attention with applied concentration and open curiosity. I have noticed that when mindfulness is brought to an activity, it becomes really enjoyable and imaginative. When the activity is done by a group, everyone has a different experience. When I teach mindfulness to children and families, we engage all the senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. What do we see right now? What do we smell? What do we touch? How does it feel to our fingers and body? What do we taste right now? And what do we hear as we are doing this activity together? Another thing we can do is recite what's called a gatha or gata. It's a phrase that we recite while we engage in an activity and it brings the mind and body together with a calm and clear mind. Here are some, or a couple, to consider. Brushing my teeth and rinsing my mouth, I vow to speak purely and lovingly. When my mouth is fragrant with right speech, a flower blooms in the garden of my heart. Here's another. Before starting the car, I know where I am going. The car and I are one. If the car goes fast, I go fast. This month of Easter and Passover, let's really pay attention to the activities we share together. This following practice can be used during any activity to bring mindfulness into the shared experience. Mindfulness in daily life, family practice. Choose an activity to experience mindfully. Doing the dishes, walking the dog, driving to school. You choose the activity. The practice is the same. Begin by consciously identifying what you are doing right now. We are going to do blank mindfully. The practice welcomes all the senses: sight, sound, smell, touch, and taste. Not necessarily in that order. The leader in the practice asks the questions one at a time, allowing for individual experience. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell? What do you feel? What do you taste? For example, if we are doing the dishes, we notice what dish we are washing. We see it. We look at the shapes and the color. What sounds do we hear as the cloth rubs the surface or the dishes touch one another? What is the water temperature and how does it feel in your hands? What does the soap smell like? And is there a sense of taste? Sometimes smell and taste are related in the body. Each sense is invited, and a quiet moment is allowed for everyone to have their experience. We invite patience and awareness, and we don't hurry to the next sense. If you don't hand wash your dishes, as we don't in my family, we might load the dishwasher together and we can ask the exact same questions. Each dish that we put into the dishwasher, we ask the same questions. Walking is also a great activity to do mindfully. Consider this if you walk a pet together regularly. While walking, invite all the senses, just as we do above in the above description. Other activities would be possibly driving to school mindfully. We can use all the senses to notice what we pass, especially if this is a routine that we do without actually thinking. So I hope that you will consider bringing mindfulness into your daily life and think of the five senses. Or if you like the idea of reciting a gata phrase, look them up. There are plenty of them online, especially at the Thich Nhat Hanh Foundation. And I will put that website address in the notes of this podcast. So before we finish up, let's take a moment together and notice our breath. As I breathe in, I know I am breathing in. As I breathe out, I know I am breathing out. Breathing in, I feel my body strong and centered on the ground or where I am sitting. My head reaches the sky, and as I breathe in, I bring in the oxygen from the sky and the air around me, oxygen that has been shared by nature for my benefit and for the benefit of all beings. If our eyes are closed, we can imagine an activity that we might use mindfulness for. And if our eyes are open, we can actually notice what we're doing right now as we listen to this podcast. Is the computer on? Is the phone in our hand? Is there a weight that we notice? Is there a feeling in our fingers? Can we pick up and smell the device, or maybe even just smell the environment? What do we hear? I hear my cat meowing outside my door. Do you hear my cat, Gracie? Or do you hear something else where you are? How about smell? Is there a smell associated at this time that you're listening to this podcast? Is there a taste in your mouth? So anything we do, any moment can be turned into a meditation. Thank you so much for joining me and for listening to the podcast. Please stay tuned for more Welcoming a Mindful Future podcasts. Welcoming a Mindful Future is a podcast by MindfulFrontiers, an education-based meditation center located in northern New Mexico. We offer mindfulness and meditation workshops, classes, coaching, and instruction for children, parents, families, classrooms, and individuals. We believe that mindfulness is an important part of welcoming a positive future for ourselves, our communities, and our world. These podcasts are shared freely, and your support helps Mindful Frontiers reach a wider audience. Thank you for your generous donation through this podcast platform.